My people, what is going on? My name is Slender, and I'm going to take you guys step by step through the entire process, where to find the materials, and everything with the new Runeglass gem system. So let's take a look. Now, if you don't know what the Runeglass gems are, I will quickly show you all the different Runeglass gems, but I do have a video, kind of explaining them, breaking them down, and I'll put that at the end of this video so that you can check on it. But just quickly, what they are, they're basically just gems on steroids. I couldn't find a better way to explain it. So you take a regular gem, or not a regular, but a cut pristine gem, any of them, amethysts, aquamarines, carnelians, all of them can be turned into and upgraded to a Runeglass. I call them Runeglass gems, but it's whatever. Now, the Runeglass gems that I have my eye on are going to be the leaching ones, and I'm sure I'm not alone. I'm going to be making a video testing the different Runeglass gems, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But for now, I'm going to show you guys how to craft them. And just to give you an idea, a leaching amethyst. So you can either put this on your weapon, or you could put it on your armor. If it's on your armor, it's going to be a ward. If it's on the weapon, it's going to augment your attacks. Well, they both kind of do. So, for example, the Leeching Abyssal is going to convert 40% of the damage to void. So I'll just go ahead and read it. So Leeching Abyssal is 40% of the damage is going to be converted to void, and it scales off your base weapon stat or int, whichever is higher. And you're going to gain 3% of your damage as health. Now, if it's on your armor, you're going to get an additional 5% void damage absorption. That's what you're getting from the amethyst. But you're also going to get 1% of your damage as health, so leeching. And this is why these are going to be so strong, in my opinion. I haven't tested it yet, but I'm in the process of doing that right now. So do they stack? How is it actually effective? Is it a gimmick? We don't know yet. Well, maybe some of you do. There might be other videos out there, but I've been kind of, slow to the game. I was pretty sick. Anyway, whatever. Why am I even talking about that? That is waffle, my friends. Probably going to be edited out of the video. So, to get started, what you're going to have, obviously, other than the cut pristine gem of your choice, is you're going to need the actual Runeglass. And that's going to be created at your weaponsmith or your forge. You're going to need weaponsmithing 180 to be able to make these different Runeglass cases. So there it is, 180 weaponsmithing. I'm gonna try to figure out where the food glyph stones are and all that stuff. So for now, we're just gonna make a sight one, because sight is pretty cool. Sight is going to give you additional damage to your range attacks. So I'm assuming that's going to be with your, auto attacks if you're a mage. Definitely going to work for your bow attacks, obviously, and maybe the hatchet. I don't know. But again, we will be doing testing on all this stuff. Don't you worry. So first of all, you're going to need to get charged sand, sulfur, certain glyph stones, and ancient glob of ectoplasm. These are all going to be found in the new zone, Brimstone Sands, and I'm going to show you guys where to get all that stuff right now. So the charged sand is probably the easiest one to get, but the sandstone block could be kind of tough to find. So it takes 5 sandstone block and 1 obsidian sandpaper. Now, one thing I've noticed already, and I'm sure this is just a bug, so I have submitted it in the bug reports, is the stone cutting gear does not seem to increase the chance to craft additional items. Hopefully that's just an oversight and it will be fixed, but as of right now, whether you have your stone cutting gear on or not, you're going to get the same 13%. So we're going to go ahead and craft some of this. And for shits and gigs, I'm going to go ahead and put my stone cutting gear on anyway. You never know, maybe they snuck in a bug fix. That would be nice, wouldn't it? So we're going to go ahead and put all that on and we're going to craft some. So let's take a look. So still 13%. But we'll see. Maybe we'll get 5. Hey, look at that. So that's how you make the charged sand, and I'm going to show you guys where to find the sandstone block. And I'll tell you what, the sandstone block looks amazing. I don't know why I got so excited about the way it looks, but it really does look cool. I find myself staring at the sandstone block every time I start mining it. And then when it's done, I'm like, oh man, you know, it's all mined up. I want to get some more. I'm an idiot, folks. Disregard all that. Anyway, here's where you find that. So pretty much to find any of these things, I like this newworldmap.com, and this will be in the description. The only thing is it's not really working well with Firefox right now. So if you're having trouble, you know, loading it up, try using Microsoft Edge or any other browser. You just type in sandstone, and it's literally all over the place. So this, again, this will be in the description, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when you actually when you actually find it. So it's really nice and shiny. This is why I said I just kind of stare at it every time. Anytime there's something shiny and new, you know, I gotta absorb it. So that's where you find that. Next on the list is sulfur. Now this one is kind of tough. You're gonna have to work for the sulfur. So the sulfur is derived from sulfur chunks. The sulfur chunks come from brimstone, and this is where it gets kind of tricky. You're gonna have to be pretty tough. One thing that's gonna make this whole thing a lot easier is to craft the new acid tinctures. These are going to be so useful and super easy to make. You just need 5 sulfur, 5 charged sand, some aloe gel, and cactus flesh. I mean, the cactus flesh and aloe gel, if you guys don't know where to get that, well, I'll tell you anyway. So it's another thing that you can use the map for, but just start chopping down cactuses and aloe plants. The aloe plants are the really cool looking ones. Well, let me just show you. So this is what the aloe plants look like. They're called young, or they're called succulents, I guess. So super easy to get. Once you see one of them, you'll pretty much, they come in bunches, kind of like hemp. One place that I found where there's a lot of them is right at the border between Ebonscale Reach and the new zone Brimstone Sands. There's tons of it. So just type in acid. There's only one potion right now. It's a tincture, and it takes 20 cactus flesh, 5 aloe gel, 5 sulfur, and charged sand. And I'll do a separate video on where to find those and how to craft them. But do yourself a big favor and start crafting them. The reason they're so helpful is because when you go to get the sulfur, the brimstone, if we check the map here, the brimstone is right on the edge of these acid pools. And there's really tough mobs out there that will KO you instantly. Once you step foot in that acid, it's pretty much game over. And there's literally monsters that will pull you into the acid pools. So it's just going to make life much easier. If you're going to do this and start farming these materials, do it right and get some of those acid tinctures. Now back to where you find the brimstone, or I'm sorry, the sulfur that you get from the brimstone. Just type in here, brimstone, in the search bar. Sorry, I keep moving my mouth away from the mic. So just type in brimstone in the search bar on newworldmap.com, and it will bring up all the different brimstone spots. And again, the most concentrated area is going to be these acid pools. And once you're done mining it, bring it back to the smelter, and you just break it down into sulfur. All you need is sulfur chunks and obsidian flux. Super easy. Now, when the update comes out, I'm assuming that this spot is going to be just loaded with people. So do yourself a favor. Again, this is bugged right now, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to be fixed. So you're going to want to wear your smelting gear and get this 13% as high as you can, because again, I think this is going to be a super bottlenecky area when it comes to, you know, finding your Runeglass stuff and farming all the materials. Personally, I'm probably going to go to a lower pop server. I don't know. There's really not a lot of spots to get this stuff. So it's going to be a really hot commodity. And I imagine sulfur is going to go for big bucks. Now, these next ingredients are the tougher ones, and this is what's stopping me right now from making a bunch of the leaching ones. I really want to make some leaching ones, and I will, but I want to get this video out soon because there's a ton of people on the PTR, a ton of people asking questions. I was even asking people to hold my hand through the Runeglass, you know, crafting process, and they're like, Slender, you're a freaking content creator. Figure it out. I'm like, all right. But they're right. Now, if any of you guys want to be hired to do all my homework for me, let me know. I would love to have some minions out there, you know, sneaking around, finding good juicy info. You know, don't Don't all work for Damone Kim. Come on, guys. I need some help. I'm just kidding. So, well, kind of. Anyway, so the glyph stones. So the glyph stones are all over brimstone. Each zone, each like portion of brimstone sands, they're kind of sectioned off in different sections, and they all will drop certain glyph stones. So if you go to one area, you're going to get the destruction glyph stones. If you go to another area, you're going to get the above glyph stones dropping. And they drop from mobs, they drop from chests, all over the place. Now, if you're looking for a certain glyph stone, just go to the New World database is one place you can check. So we're going to go there right now. And you just click on PTR, and then you just search glyph. And they'll all come up, and they'll tell you which areas they drop. So if you want to craft the leeching ones, you're going to need food glyphs and gift glyphs. So I already have some gift glyphs. I just need some food glyphs. Now, the one thing that sucks is some of these are in like the really, really tough places. So for example, the food glyph stones, where are those at? Those drop from the chest, and they drop from the mobs at Castrum Victualis. So, and that's the only place. It looks like that's the only place they drop. Now, I did also check the map, and let's just see if they do come up at all. So, glyph. And no, it just shows, it's just the ancient glyphs. Now, you guys, maybe I'm just missing something here. If I am, let me know in the comments, you know, if there's an easier way to find them. But as of right now, Castrum Victualis, I think it's called, is a really, really tough area. And I'm going to try to get a party going. And I just want to, I'm going to have to if I'm making this video on the, you know, the rune stones. Or the Runeglass, rather. But there it is, Castrum Victualis, and it's a tough place. It's really, really hard to solo. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But if you've been doing all your questing and you've been running around Brimstone, chances are you're going to have a bunch of those glyphs, and you could probably start crafting some of these right now with what you have. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And I can only craft these three, and out of these three, I really like the sight. Again, gives you increased damage to your range attacks. Now, the final thing to craft are the ancient Glob of Ectoplasm. These are going to kind of be your choke point for now. They are pretty rare, and you get them out. One of the places I found that you get them, and this is thanks to somebody on the PTR that was really helping me out. I really appreciate it, bro. There's so many new names on here. I need to start writing down names every time I ask a question so I can give you guys the recognition you deserve. But I do remember part of his name had George St. Pierre's initials. He's a fighter. I used to really love GSP. And where I found him is, and where he told me to go, is in those coffers, the sarcophaguses. So, and I'm just going to call him George St. Pierre from now on. So GSP, he showed me exactly where, and this is probably going to be the easiest place unless you have those acid tinctures. If you have the acid tinctures, this whole process is going to be super, super easy, or much easier, because one place you can get those grave offerings is what they're called. So the grave offerings are in the sarcophaguses and some of the containers that you're going to basically unlock as you're, you know, questing and farming different things. So they look like coffins. They're the stone sarcophaguses, and this is where it gets kind of confusing, because it seems like a lot of these containers in Brimstone, you have two interactions. One interaction to either, you know, unlock or translate the text, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It's really goofy. I don't really like it, but it's whatever. So you'll find in Brimstone Sands that a lot of these things, a lot of these containers, you can't open because you don't have the knowledge, or you haven't uncovered the glyph or the ancient rune or whatever. We're going to get into that stuff later. I don't want to confuse you guys because it is very confusing. So the containers, they are the stone sarcophaguses. There might be other containers that have the grave offerings, but that's where they're at. They're inside the grave offerings. And the spot that I found, if you don't have any of those acid tinctures, a good place are the ruins of Antium. They're all over in there, as you can see in the video. That's what I'm looting, but be careful, because once you open up that sarcophagus and basically turn it into a grave offering, there's going to be some monster spawning, and they are pretty tough. So one thing that's going to help is doing like world tours and stuff. I'm sure we're going to uncover a bunch of these. Another place that you can get them, and this is where the acid tinctures come into play, are the acid pools. The acid pools are an amazing spot for them. They're out in the open. but you're going to take a lot of damage. And you can't stand in the acid you can't survive in the acid long enough to open one of these sarcophaguses, so you're going to have the acid tincture. So before you do any of this stuff, I highly recommend go out there, start crafting some of those acid tinctures. And again, if you want to know how to craft them, check out the video at the end of this one, and I show you step by step. It's super, super easy. So one thing I noticed as I was making this video is the sarcophaguses and the grave offerings, I think they're going to be shareable. So even if somebody opens one before you do, you can still go up and loot it. I guess that's a new way they're, combating the everybody fighting for the resources. Now, I'm not going to get into that whole debate. Let's just be happy that, what I said earlier about moving to a low pop server might not be necessary. So that is where you get the ectoplasm. That's probably going to be, other than the specific glyphs that you're looking for, that's going to be one of the tough ones. Now remember, if you don't know where to find the different glyphs for the Runeglass that you want to craft, just check New World Database. It'll show them. So far on the map, they don't have them added yet. So that is how you craft and get everything. And once you have all the materials, and I will show you guys one more time, it's going to take 3 of the ancient glob of ectoplasm. It doesn't matter which case you're going to be making. It's going to take the same amount of ectoplasm for each one, the same amount of sulfur, and the same amount of charged sand. And then 5 of each glyph, which is just 2 different glyphs. 2 different glyphs will make you one of them. So we're going to go ahead and craft the Runeglass case of sight. And there we go. So now that we have our case, where the heck did it go? There it is. Oh, it looks pretty. So now that we have our Runeglass case of sight, that's step 1. All that for step 1. Now we're going to go to the stone cutting table and we're going to finish the process. So we've got our pristine diamond, we've got the Runeglass case of sight, 2 pure solvent, and 1 gold ingot, and I'm going to craft the Runeglass of sighted diamond. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize. I wonder if it's possible to craft 2 of those. Wouldn't that be amazing? And of course not. All the cool stuff that we would love to have 2 of, you can't do it. Whatever. I'm freaking out over nothing. I know. And there we go. There's your Runeglass of sighted diamond. Hopefully, here pretty soon, I will be making another video with a full set of leaching, a full set of sighted diamonds. And once I find the most optimum or most efficient way of collecting all these materials, maybe get a system going, I'll give you guys another video on how maybe like what's the fastest and most efficient way to farm your Runeglass. So we'll probably get that going too. So that is going to do it for the video. I wanted to keep it as short as possible. As you can see, we did not accomplish that whatsoever, but that's all right. At least we know how to do it step by step, how to prepare for it, what you're going to need, and let's see what it looks like when it's equipped on the life staff. So it doesn't really look any different than, any of the other gems, which kind of sucks. I was hoping to see more flashy details, and maybe they'll change that in the future. So a couple things before I let you guys go. First of all, if you want to see more stuff like this, please like and subscribe. Support the channel if you enjoy the videos. It would help me out a lot. I appreciate every single one of you. And also, be on the lookout for some new videos coming out. We're going to do a money guide, how to prepare for the new update, and also tons and tons of testing with these Runeglass gems. Which ones are going to be the badass ones? Are they as strong as we think, etc.? And a lot of testing. So going to be really, really fun. And remember, at the end of this video, there should be a link for how to make those potions to help you out, the acid tinctures. I also plan on doing a video on how to upgrade your heart rune gems. These guys right here. And if you didn't, oh my God. and if you didn't see the video on how to get these, you can always check my channel. I made a video step by step how to get your heart runes and all the quests that are involved, etc., etc. And one more thing, I just want to give a huge shout out to the newest members of the Slender Army, Daigoro1 and Ryan Mitchell. Thank you guys so much for supporting this channel. That is amazing. You guys have no idea how happy this stuff makes me. for two reasons. One, it shows your dedication and your support to the channel. And two, for every new member, we're going to be donating another $1 per month to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, helping babies all over the world, not just the United States, all over the world. So thank you guys so much. And, you know, let's get all the members we can get. So that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry it was so long, but I think it was worth it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and be on the lookout for some new amazing videos. Have a great day, everybody.